Oh yeah, I want to do this one. I'm just gonna be talking basically to myself and to you guys, but
Ruston, at some point, can you play "I Only Want You"?
dude, okay, I need to learn that song. I'm sorry,
That's
man.
all right.
I was asked that, like, we played Radio City Music Hall the other night, opening for my homie Marin Morris, and it was so fun. Yeah, that was fucking. I've never played there before. What a venue! Have you guys been there before? Like, how close are we to New York right now? We're not far. We're not close at all. No. Are we closer to Boston? Oh, we got some Boston folks in the house. We got one Boston folk in the house. Are you from Boston, young lady? Yes. Well, that's cool. I love Boston. So I just made a new record, and it's my favorite record I've ever done, and like that's being for real. Shape and Destroy. I don't know if you even give a shit about any of this, but Shape and Destroy was like I wanted to do a record where like I wasn't even on like caffeine, and that was like a very challenging experience. Cause like, don't get me wrong, I love like being off of drugs, but also like coffee in the morning is fucking great. And anyways, I did it, and that was like a kind of like an exercise for me creatively. I wanted to say that I could do that to myself. But Dying Star, it was really special. My dad was a big part of that record, and when I think about that record and I play any of the songs, like I think about him. He's still alive, by the way. I opened this set with Dying Star, and that's probably the first time I've ever played it without him. You know, we used to do like, so it's kind of throwing back, like the plan is to, you know, start playing cities that like, I'm sorry, I've never heard of Oaks Bluff before. But like, I want to know it. I want to know you guys. So we're like, you know, kind of starting over a little bit with like solo acoustic stuff in a lot of these like smaller towns. And it reminds me so much, like it kind of makes me like miss like my pops. Like we would do this all the time together for several years, you know, and there would be about half the amount of people that are in this room. So I don't know why I brought that up, but it was he texted me the other day. Oh yeah, him and my band played this show in Nashville. My guitarist's name is Juan, and he hosts a thing called Juanaroo, which is Bonnaroo, and like it's like literally the sickest musicians up to play with him. And he asked me, and he asked Dad, and I obviously can't do it because I'm here, but Dad did it, and it was so cool to know that like he did a show. And it was like just him, I wasn't involved, and like people lost their shit. It was really cool. All right, so speaking of a new record, I'd like to play a song from it. Okay, so like you're gonna hear it in this style. It's the way that I wrote it. It's not the way that it was recorded. I decided I wanted to take a much more like I'm a huge Bon Iver fan, and huge War on Drugs fan, Sufjan, and all of that, and all of those artists have so much atmosphere to their records. And I'm not saying that like I don't have that, but like those first two records that I made were very. Here's a guy that wrote these songs in his room, and like here's a great band behind it and a great a sound. Like I'm really proud of those, but I wanted to go farther into like making the production on it and the vibe of it. Just as appealing maybe as the lyrics and the songs, and so this record to me did what I've always wanted, what I've been trying to do, which is to just create like a kind of vast piece of art that doesn't take away from the song. So keep that in mind when you listen to me play it, literally just with a guitar.